It's almost 2 in the morning. Your body is done, heavy, sunk into the mattress, the kind of tired that should have pulled you under an hour ago. But your mind never got the message. You're seconds from sleep when it happens. A conversation from this afternoon walks back in, uninvited, and presses play. You hear the thing you said. You hear how it might have landed. And before you can stop it, you're rewriting the whole scene. The sharper reply, the better tone, the version of you that didn't fumble it. None of it is real. The conversation is over. The other person forgot it hours ago. But here you are, running it for the 9th time. And the cruel part? You know you're overthinking. You can watch yourself do it, almost from the outside, and you still can't find the switch to make it stop. People hand you the same tired advice. Just relax, stop thinking so much. And it lands about as well as telling someone mid-fall to simply not hit the ground. But here's what I want you to sit with. A mind that won't go quiet isn't a broken one. More often, it's a sharp one. Sensitive, fast, picking up things other people walk straight past. So if it's a kind of intelligence, then why does it leave you this wrecked? By the end of this, I'll show you where the off switch actually is. It was never where you've been told to look. So let's name it properly, because the word overthinking is too soft for what's actually happening. In psychology, the clinical term is rumination, and the unhelpful version has a fuller name, maladaptive rumination. It's what your mind does when it grabs the same thought and chews it, again and again, especially around things you can't change or can't predict. Susan Nolen-Hoeksema, a psychologist at Yale, spent her whole career studying this exact loop. And one of her findings is worth saying out loud because it cuts against everything people assume about you. You don't ruminate because you're weak or dramatic or too sensitive. You do it because your brain is unusually good at one thing, finding patterns. Think about the last time your boss texted back a single word. Just okay. No period, no emoji, nothing. Most people read that as a yes and move on. Your brain reads it as a signal. Something's off, and your whole radar lights up, hunting for the hidden meaning. Why no punctuation? Did I do something wrong? Are they annoyed with me? That's pattern recognition running at full power. That's real horsepower. You're just pointing it at a text message. The problem is what happens when that horsepower has nowhere to go. Think back to that car alarm. 2 systems in your brain are fighting over the volume. One of them, the prefrontal cortex, sits right behind your forehead. It's the part that's supposed to step in and say, "Enough, we've looked at this, we're done." The other one only switches on when you stop focusing on the outside world. Scientists call it the default mode network. Picture a radio station that comes on by itself the second the room goes quiet. When you lie down, when the dishes are done, when there's finally nothing left to drown it out. For most people, it murmurs. For you, it blasts. So you lie there at 2 in the morning with the alarm screaming, loud, urgent, demanding you do something. And the part of you that's meant to switch it off has been completely buried under the noise. That's where the exhaustion comes from. Not from solving anything, from the sound. And here's the part almost nobody tells you. Why can't you just stop? Why does willpower do nothing here? Because your brain is quietly paying you to keep going. Every time you run another version of the scene, every time you build the perfect comeback or play out one more worst case, you get a small hit of dopamine. The same chemical you'd get from almost cracking a puzzle. It doesn't care that the puzzle is imaginary. As long as you're thinking, it feels like progress. So it keeps you there. That's why this isn't a habit you can scold yourself out of. It's closer to the pull that keeps your thumb scrolling at midnight when you swore you'd sleep. You're not failing to stop. You're up against a system that's rewarding you for not stopping. Now, where does a mind like this even come from? Because it usually doesn't switch on out of nowhere in adulthood. For a lot of people who overthink, the wiring got laid down much earlier, back in childhood. Take a second and look back. Did you grow up somewhere the mood could turn without warning? A house where you couldn't quite predict which version of a parent would walk through the door, calm or sharp, warm or cold. When a kid grows up reading the weather like that, their brain learns a strategy that's honestly kind of brilliant. Anticipate everything. If you could catch the shift in a footstep down the hall, spot the one mistake in your homework before anyone else did, read the tightening in someone's face a second early, then maybe you could stay safe. So if that was you, sit with this for a second. Your overthinking was never a character flaw. It's a skill. It's a sharp, sensitive nervous system doing exactly what it was trained to do, scanning for trouble to keep you out of it. Your brain doesn't hate you. It's still trying to protect you. It just never got the message that the danger's past. But not all of this thinking is the same, and telling the two apart is most of the battle. There's a version that actually helps. After a fight with someone you love, you sit with it and ask, why did that hit me so hard? What old bruise did it press on? That's reflective thinking. That's digging a well. You go down and you come back up with water, more understanding, a little more empathy, something you can actually use. And then there's the other kind. You replay the fight 40 times, not to learn anything, but just to feel the sting again, or to punish yourself for not having a sharper line ready. That's brooding. You're not digging a well anymore. You've dug a hole, and now you're just sitting in it. The cruelest trick is how easily one becomes the other. You start out reflecting, going down for water, and somewhere along the way it curdles into brooding, and you don't even catch the moment you crossed over. That's when the bill comes due. In lost sleep. In standing frozen at a simple decision because you've already pre-played every way it could go wrong. In replaying a 5-second exchange with a coworker until you're convinced you said something unforgivable. And if you're recognizing yourself a little too well right now, that's exactly who this channel is for. Subscribing is free, and it's how this reaches the next person lying awake at 2 in the morning. Okay, so what do you actually do with a brain like this? Here's the first thing to let go of. You can't force this off. Telling a mind like yours to just stop thinking is like telling someone who's seasick to simply stop feeling nauseous. The harder you push, the worse it gets. So the good therapists don't chase a quiet mind. They change your relationship with the noise. 2 tools do most of the work. The first is about distance. Right now, when an anxious thought shows up, I'm a failure. I ruined that. They're upset with me. You believe it the way you believe the floor is under your feet. But picture that thought as a track playing in headphones pressed tight against your ears. You think it's the whole world. It isn't. It's a recording. So instead of I'm a failure, you say, I'm having the thought that I'm a failure. 4 words on the front, and you've taken the headphones off. You're not drowning in the track anymore. You're holding it in your hand, looking at it. Same thought. Completely different grip on you. The second tool talks to your body because your nervous system doesn't speak logic. When the spiral starts, heart speeding up, thoughts accelerating, you cut it with something physical. Name 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, 1 you can taste. Or go blunter, cold water on the face, something heavy at the gym. Maya, someone I worked with, kept it even simpler. On the worst nights, she'd hold a single ice cube in her fist until the cold was the only thing in the room. It sounds too small to matter, but it works, because that default mode network can't run the imaginary courtroom and feel a freezing hand at the same time. You're handing your body one clear message. The danger isn't here. We're safe. You can stand down. And this is the part I really want you to keep. Your overthinking was never proof that something's wrong with you. It's proof of a mind with real processing power, one that learned to stay alert in a world that once felt unsafe. It's proof of how hard you worked to be okay. The job was never to kill the thoughts. It's to become a steady, patient guide for a brain that's only trying to protect you. So let me leave you with one question. Next time you catch yourself spiraling at 2 in the morning, which one are you actually doing? Digging the well or sitting in the hole? Tell me in the comments. And if this quieted the noise for even a minute, go ahead and subscribe and turn on the bell. There's more coming. You're really not doing this alone. I'll see you in the next one.